She walked across the USC campus like any other student. But behind her quiet smile, a secret was spreading through the university. For 4 years, complaints vanished, warnings were ignored, and victims were left unheard. No one realized the same man was quietly connected to all of them until detectives uncovered a pattern too dark to explain away. And when the truth finally surfaced, the real mystery wasn't what he did. It was how he got away with it for so long. She seemed calm when she walked onto campus, just like thousands of other students who rushed through the walkways of the University of Southern California. But behind the academic buildings, inside apartments that looked ordinary from the outside, something darker was unfolding, something no one would believe until it was too late. Our story begins in 2021, when a quiet, disciplined graduate student named CJ Weng first arrived at USC. He kept to himself, rarely caused trouble, and always looked like someone focused only on academic success. Professors said he submitted assignments on time. Neighbors said he was polite. Nothing about him stood out. Nothing suggested danger. But behind closed doors, a pattern had already begun. One woman reportedly told investigators that she had gone to his apartment after a study meetup. She remembered drinking something he gave her, something that didn't smell right. Another claimed she couldn't remember the next several hours after accepting a small glass of wine. And later, more women came forward with eerily similar accounts. Their stories carried the same tone of fear. I don't know what happened. I couldn't move. I couldn't speak. Still, nothing happened for years. The campus police filed incident reports. Administrators reviewed concerns. Students whispered among themselves. But no public action was taken. The case quietly grew colder, drifting into the background, until 2025 when everything erupted at once. What triggered the breakthrough wasn't one woman, it was multiple, all stepping forward within the same window of time. A detective from the LAPD noticed the pattern immediately. Women who didn't know each other describing the same unusual symptoms, the same hazy gaps in memory, the same apartment building, and the same man. A USC graduate student with no previous criminal record. As officers dug deeper, they discovered something chilling. Reports about Weng stretched back 4 years. Complaints had been made, but never fully investigated. Students had tried to warn others, but their voices got lost in the noise of a massive university system. And through it all, Weng continued his normal life, attending classes, hosting study groups, and blending into the crowd. By early 2025, there were enough accounts to move forward, and that's when authorities made the arrest. Weng didn't resist. He didn't argue. He didn't panic. He merely responded with the same quiet calm he was known for, as if he had been expecting this moment. The officers later said it was the most unsettling part, the way he barely reacted. Like someone who believed the truth would never fully surface. Once in custody, investigators obtained a search warrant. Inside his apartment, they found items described in reports: unlabeled bottles, leftover drinks, small containers in a desk drawer, a laptop with deleted files investigators are still recovering. Though nothing alone was conclusive, the pattern formed a frightening picture. The deeper detectives looked, the stranger the case became. Each woman's story aligned with the others, not perfectly, but enough to reveal clear repetition. The same late-night hours, the same small gatherings, the same sudden blackouts, the same sickening confusion when they woke up. It was a pattern investigators could not ignore. When the district attorney received the compiled evidence, the decision was swift. Weng was charged with multiple felony counts, each tied to different women who had stepped forward over the years. The charges carried serious weight, the kind that could follow someone forever. But here's where the mystery deepens. Because among all the facts, all the statements, and all the evidence gathered, something didn't fit. Many students wondered, how did this go on for 4 years without detection? How many reports were dismissed or ignored? How many victims never came forward? Administrators insisted they followed procedure, but reporters soon discovered gaps, Unanswered emails, missing documents, and a disturbing number of victims who claimed they tried to file complaints that never went anywhere. And then came the twist. A witness, someone who had known Wang personally, told detectives something chilling. He always said he liked people who trusted him. He said, "Trust is the easiest thing to break without anyone noticing." The witness later admitted they never understood what he meant. Not until the arrests began. As the case gained national attention, new questions flooded social media. Students demanded answers. Parents demanded accountability. News anchors asked the same question again and again. Did USC know? And if they did, how much? To this day, the university has given carefully worded statements. They promise cooperation. They promise support. They promise change. But they still haven't explained the 4-year gap. Wang now sits in custody, facing charges that could send him to prison for decades. Yet he maintains his innocence. His attorneys claim the accusations are exaggerated. They say the evidence is incomplete, and they insist more information will come out at trial. But the victims, the ones who stepped forward, say otherwise. Their courage is what broke the silence. Their voices are what pushed the investigation forward, and their stories are now part of a larger national conversation about what happens when students try to report danger, and no one listens soon enough. The mystery isn't just what happened to these women. The real mystery is what happened in the years no one asked questions, why no one followed the patterns sooner, and how many moments were missed where everything could have changed. Even now, investigators believe there may be more victims, people who stayed silent, afraid their voices wouldn't matter. And as the trial approaches, the world waits to see if the truth will finally come out, or if part of the story will disappear forever. Because sometimes the most frightening mysteries aren't supernatural. Sometimes they happen in broad daylight, on a campus full of people behind doors that look perfectly ordinary, while no one sees the danger growing until it's too late. And that is the story USC wishes had never reached the light.